Welcome to Talkin' Baseball. The inmates are running the asylum. Trevor Plouffe, Kelsey Winger. Let's do it, baby! Welcome to Talkin' Baseball. The inmates are running the asylum. Trevor Plouffe, Kelsey Winger. Let's do it, baby! What's going on, everybody? A little echo. We'll find out. Was that coming from me? Is that coming from elsewhere?
I think that's Kelsey. We need to mute the tab if you have it open.
little audio stuff. We'll see if that echo goes away. Body, yada, 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 yada. I think it has. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Talkin' Baseball. Jom.com is on his way to a wedding in California. Both side of the aisle wedding. Jimmy is good friends with the groom, and his Katie is good friends with the bride. So that'll be a big one for them. So trying to do her best to replace him. Kelsey Winger from Farm to Fame, literally Farm to Fame, right? I mean, you got the call. You're here. What's up?
I got the call to the show. Big shoes to fill, though, for John, but he's in Cali.
They're not that big.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not literally, but I don't know how big his feet are. I don't know. I didn't look at that, but yeah, I got the call to the show. I'm officially a big leaguer. Yep. Thank you guys so much. I've worked so hard for this day. Fired up. Stoked.
If you haven't been watching Farm to Fame, Kelsey and Pete Moylan have been killing it over there. Can't match Kelsey's energy. We're going to try our best. Trevor Plouffe, I mean, any advice? Like, what would you, when someone got the call, your Twins days, you're the anchor at third base and someone comes up. What was the throw the arm around the shoulder, play your game, or what were you saying?
Don't fuck it up.
Okay.
Yeah. Be yourself.
No, but honestly, I feel like
don't suck.
I feel like Jake and I and BBD are getting called up because you're the only true professional here. Like we're just a couple of idiots that just talk on the microphones. Like you're actually a professional. So if you think we need to, reel it in a little bit, come back to the center, let us know, because I think that we're going to learn some things about real journalism today.
No, y'all's banter is what makes this show great.
Okay, enough of the sucking up. No, I'm excited, and I think, Kelsey, you mentioned this before. You've obviously been in tune with the young guns in the show this year. You've been locked in. We had to actually kind of dial you back originally from Farm to Fame because you were doing too much research and getting too much information. So excited to see what you've got there. And, yeah, I mean, hey, I know I made the lame Farm to Fame joke before, but I made it a mini emotional statement when Rose came on. Kel's really excited. I mean, you reached out originally, and you were like, listen to the pod, love you guys, want to get involved. And now here we are, and Farm to Fame's rolling, and I'm stoked for us. I'm stoked for you, and I think we're going to have a little fun today. How about that?
Oh, yeah. Stoked for Denver?
Oh my God! All-Star game. Watch out! We are ironing out some details for the All-Star game. I think we'll probably do like a big announcement soon. But people that listen to this already know. But yeah, we got some fun stuff planned. So I don't know, guys. I think we get into it. I'll bat leadoff today. Trev 2-hole winger to bring us home with the Interleague. Before we do that, today's episode is brought to us by Hydrant. Hydrant. Ooh. Have we sent you any of this yet, Kelsey?
No.
Okay. We'll get you in the Hydrant game. Hydrant has become an odd amount of my life. I have one of these packets every day because my brain says more hydration, the better. So I've just, every time I get a water, I throw a Hydrant in there. I think a little bit of caffeine boost too. Hydrant's great. It's been going around our office. Trev, did you get some? Have you been hydranting?
I have. I got some, and I have been using it. The way I use it is if I have a few drinks,
Ooh.
Before I go to bed, I make sure I pop a little hydrant in the water, and I usually feel great in the morning. Because, look, man, I'm almost 35 years old. My birthday's coming up. No big deal if you guys want to get me something.
Oh.
When is it?
June 15th.
Mine's June 20th.
Oh,
we
wow.
should have
There you
a
go.
combined birthday party in Denver.
Gemini season. Let's go.
Holy smokes.
I don't even know. Are you a Gemini?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, I've been using it, and I think it actually works. So, like, this is one of those products. Like, sometimes we have ads for stuff that I have no idea what you're talking about. I like this one.
Well, here I am with Gemini's twin over here. Hydrant is refreshing. It's a drink mix powder. You pour it right in your water. We've got the caffeine one. They've also got a sleep one. So if you're trying to catch your Z's in and get hydrated before bed, go check that out. drinkhydrant.com/baseball. Promo code baseball, 20% off your first order, or subscribe and save 30% on your first subscription order. So go check that out. drinkhydrant.com/baseball, promo code baseball, 20% off or 30 if you subscribe. So go check them out. All right. I think let's talk some baseball, guys, if you're all right with that. I'll be doing the NL BBD. You got the tune skis? You got some baseball boogie for me? Oh, sure does. Let's start off with Trevor Plouffe's Philadelphia Phillies. They went to Cincinnati, and we split two there because we had a Wednesday postponement. Couple blowouts. Reds won the first game 11-1. Phillies won the next game 17-3. Nola versus Gray. Thought that might be a little more fun. Not so much. Phillies raked the whole series. So did the Reds pretty much. Let's be honest. 2 games and a lot of hitting. And how about my guy, little baby toe, Ronald Torreyes goes yard for the first time since 2017. In Yankee land, I said some nice things about him that haven't panned out, so I'm still backing him till I die. Padres go to Chicago, and the Cubs sweep them. Are the Cubs good? We're going to be talking some Cubbies. They win 7-2, 4-3, 6-1. Cubs starting pitching and relief pitching both shove this series. How about that? The Cubbies are doing it. Tatis had to exit a game, but then he's already back in homering again, so that's good news. Javi Baez has been going. Nationals at the Braves. How about it? They split 4. Come on, Braves. Figure it out. Or don't. 5-3 Braves, 11-6 Nats, 5-3, 5-1 Braves at the end. Ronald Acuna Jr. continues to do it. How about Dansby Swanson, one of my doppelgangers with 2 homers? That Soto guy pretty good too. Strasburg leaves with injury. That's tough, man. Get him healthy. Cardinals at Dodgers. Trevor Plouffe attended this series. Game 1, 9-4 Dodgers. Bauer versus Flaherty. Doesn't get much better than that. 3-2 Cardinals in the second, and then the Dodgers blow them out 14-3. I think that was the game they scored, what was it, 11 in the first or something like that? Insane. Betts, Mookie Betts with the big series. Poppy, is he good at baseball? We'll talk more about that. And then the Mets at the D-backs. Mets take 2 out of 3. They keep winning, man. How about Los Mets, my D-backs? They won the middle game 6-5. Mets take the bookends. Crazy third game of this series. Pete Alonso with the big hit. Mad Bum goes to the 10-day IL. Hate that, hate that, hate that. Good for the Mets, though. And that's what's going on in the National League. Thank you, Kelsey. I'll accept your golf claps, Trev, as well as always. Kelsey, you're the guest of honor today. What jumps out to you about the NL?
Oh, I was really paying attention to. Okay. Obviously, my background's in the NL East, so I was really paying attention to the Braves and Nats, and then seeing what the Mets were doing, because the Mets road. I mean, obviously they're with the Padres now. They lost last night. Their road's about to get tough. So I was really paying attention to the Braves and Nationals, because that NL East is so weird, man. No clue what's going on in there.
It was supposed to be the Braves division. Like that's been the default the last couple years. We knew all these teams were good. But every time I expect to see the Braves kick it into gear. The Mets just stay atop the East for now. They are 27-22. They're 3.5 up on the Braves. They're starting to separate a little, Trev.
And their whole team's hurt. They're all on the IL.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand. That's what I don't understand because I didn't really like their team on paper to begin with, and then you took away Francisco Lindor, even though he's been heating up. Took away a bunch of other guys who were supposed to be like the guys in their lineup, but they still keep winning. I think Taijuan Walker has been a big part of that. He pitched last night, but we're not talking about that series just yet. And we might be talking about him a little later in the show. So I don't want to go too far into that. But yeah, my Braves though.
Oh,
Kelsey, I don't know if you knew this.
World
I
Series
took
champion.
them. I took them, and they just. I posed this question to our audience. I said, with the Marcell Ozuna stuff, and even some Soroka stuff, like we thought he was going to be back. Turns out that's probably not going to happen. Yeah. Do I get to change my pick because it's still decently early in the season? And the fans told me I could.
Okay.
But I'm going to stick with my Braves. I'm going to stick with them.
That's bold.
They need to get some help, and they need to do it at the trade deadline. And I'm hoping I told you earlier in the year, Jake, a guy named J-Ram.
Yeah.
I'm hoping he makes his way over to the Braves. That's a bold prediction, but they need to do something drastic like that, I think, to be able to not only get back in the NL East. I know they're only a few games back right now, but to really be a contender, an actual contender, not just a team that'll sneak into the playoffs or something like that. They need a few big pieces. Yeah.
Well, they need a starting pitcher. And Tucker Davison came up and has done a good job in his 2 starts. Ian Anderson still has like a...
Who is that, Kelsey?
Who's that? Who?
Oh, Ion Anderson.
Thank you.
I'm so sorry.
Ion Anderson.
I was lost for a second.
So they've had those young guys step up, but Fried, who is awesome, but he hasn't had the best season. So I'll be curious to see, because Anthopoulos, I know people like drag him and say that he hasn't done anything. They're going to get Shane Green back. I think Peter Moylan said that, I think he had told me their original date to get him back was the 3rd, which I think is today. Nope. Yesterday. Not a math pod. And so he'll be up there, but AA will make moves at the deadline. So
I'm interested to see, because the guy that we thought, young, thick Austin Riley, he's having a great year. And that's where you mentioned Anthopoulos, famous Greek city. These GMs love their dudes. So, that he probably loves Austin Riley and has him as the cornerstone of his team for the next 5-6 years. So that when you mentioned a J-Ram trade, Trev, that felt sexy coming into the year. Now, I don't know. But, this team right now, the bottom of their lineup, and this is via Fangraphs, they obviously mix it up, but Adrianza, William Contreras, and then Guillermo Heredia, they, that doesn't normally look like the bottom of the Braves lineup. So interested to see how they react, because I know, who was it on the Chris Rose rotation? Archie Bradley. They were talking about it that, Archie Bradley said on Mike, whatever NL East team makes the move, he thinks that's kind of going to be the difference maker this year, especially Trev's Phil's always lurking, and the Mets on top still. How about it?
Yeah.
Is there a possibility for Riley to return to the outfield at all?
Ooh.
He's played, 1-2 innings there this year. Is that a thing? Because that's the only way that J-Ram fits on that team. I understand Austin's been incredible, so I don't want to take playing time away from him. You can't do that. But with Ozuna now gone.
Peter and I talked about that on our podcast this week. And Peter said that he hates that because Austin is just playing so well right now and he's in a groove. And Peter was like, don't mess it up. Because we were talking about Orlando Arcia, who was the shortstop traded over from the Brewers, and he's doing a really good job in AAA at the plate right now. And we were trying to figure out if there was a way to work him in, and he can play a little bit of third. So we were saying maybe you move Austin Riley to left with Ozuna out for forever or however long that's going to be. And Peter Moylan shut me down real quick. He was like, nope, hate that. So I will not be moving Austin Riley to left field.
I understand where he's coming from because obviously he's feeling comfortable, but if you need to help your team out and you can get a guy like Jose Ramirez or Chris Bryant, for example. I mean, Chris Bryant, I guess, can go out
put
to
him
left
in the
field.
outfield. Yeah.
How about that? Yeah, I like that. Okay.
How about we stop trading players from the first place Cubbies, baby. A game and a half up on the Cardinals after this week, excuse me. 32-24. By the way, Mets, I know Mets fans are probably yelling, give us more loves. Why was that a Brave segment? The Mets, only team in the NL East above 500 right now, 27-22, with all the injuries. It really is incredible. Kudos to Los Mets. But you beat up on my D-backs, so kind of messed up. The Cubbies.
Yeah, man.
Trev, drink the Kool-Aid, baby. The water's nice.
I'm sort of drinking the Kool-Aid. I want them to not sell. I really do. I want them to be in contention. I want everybody to be in contention. I don't want people vying for prospects or draft capital. You're supposed to be vying for a freaking World Series, dude. So I like them being in contention. The same thing with the Giants. I want them to be in contention as well and continue to push the front office and say, let's add, not subtract. But when you give up Yu Darvish, and clearly, like the Achilles heel of the Cubs right now is their starting pitching. You had freaking Darvish.
Yeah.
You didn't have to give him away. So like they signaled they were going to sell prior to the season. Now they're going off in kind of a admittedly weak NL Central. Like now with Jay Flaherty with the Cardinals, like that's a big help to the Cubs, dude. Addition by subtraction. Yeah. And the Brewers haven't been playing great. So I don't know, man. I don't want them to sell, but part of me still thinks, like, who's the guy there? Hoyer, right? The GM?
Jed? I think so.
I think it's Jed.
Strong name, Jed.
I feel like he was brought in to sell. I hope they don't. If you're listening to this, Jed, which you probably are, because who doesn't listen to Talking Baseball? Keep the guys, keep the band together. One last reunion tour. Let them go out with a bang, man. Worry that your scouts can find talent without having to go sell off during the middle of the year. How about that?
Okay.
I like that.
Jed, got that?
All right, Jed.
Listening. We might find out more about the Cubs in the next few weeks. It looks like they're going at San Francisco, at San Diego, and then they host St. Louis. Schedule. So, they will find out about this Cubby stretch, I think, real quick. Let's see. What else do we got? Giants are in first place. What else in the NL?
What about the Dodgers putting up 11 runs in the first inning the other day?
Not bad. Belly coming back.
Belly.
Dodger season.
I did go to the games, and Belly, I think that was his first series back or first home series back. And I got to tell you something, man. They love him there. He made some catches that are like, decent catches, but the crowd goes wild. They're chanting Belly, Belly, Belly. I think if I could change places with anybody in the big league right now, it might be Cody Bellinger.
Interesting.
Like over Tatis, over all these guys, because you're in LA.
Okay.
People love you. He's got the gold on his glove, the lefty sweet swing. He's got the ring already. Like, what can't this freaking guy do? So it was really impressive to see him, back on the field and just how much Dodger Nation? I don't even know what the hell they call him. They love the guy.
Definitely not. Kelsey,
have you ever seen his eyes, or have you ever seen his eyes? Do you know what color his eyes are?
Weed.
What? Cushy dream?
Cushy. Kelsey, if you could, I think Trevor just accidentally brought us into a segment. If you could become one MLB player right now, who would it be? And why was Trevor ignoring Tatis? Because that's my answer.
I know. I was about to say Tatis, but then I figured that's what everybody else would say.
That's a good one.
I don't know. I feel like I have Slim Daddy Vladdy in my head. One, because I love his nickname. The boy somehow just lost 42 pounds. I don't even know how you do that. And everybody loves him.
Yeah.
Or I'd like to be Panda, Pablo Sandoval.
Whoa.
You just give out hugs when people do good things.
Pinch hit once a night.
Hey.
I respect your choices, but wow.
Thank you. I had a lot of time to think about it, and those were the two that I landed on. So
it's perfect. It was perfect.
And Jacob?
Thank you.
I mean, so here's my thing. I'd want to go.
If you say a Yankee, I'm
No,
signing off.
my answer is probably Tatis. He's the shortstop. Like, he just got the bag, so you don't have to worry about that at all. Age was a factor because, like, I don't know, I just scared to death and stuff. And then, I don't know. I guess the only other thing in my head was, do I want that starting pitcher life? Am I so lazy that I can do the once every 5 days, get my golf game right? But no, I'll play every day. Gamer.
But you're so soft if you're a starting pitcher.
Ooh, that's true.
So you don't want that.
That actually might play.
Tatis is a great answer. The only thing that stopped me from saying Tatis is I've made a lot of errors at shortstop before, and it's not fun.
Okay.
So he's making like a lot of errors at shortstop.
Whatever. Defense is overrated.
What do you mean, whatever? Stop. He has to stop
Isn't he
that.
leading the league in errors?
Yeah, he's made a lot of errors. He has to stop that. Like, I love everything that the guy does on the field. And sometimes errors aren't like that meaningful to like your overall defensive help, but he's making some silly errors. This isn't like he's ranging too far and stuff like that. He's making silly errors.
Chat just had a good one that's kind of a miss. I don't know if someone said it before, Nathan, but Showtime. I mean, to be Ohtani right now, whoo, that ain't bad.
I want to change my answer to whoever has the best like shoe sauce in the league. Whoever has like the best.
Miggy Rojas, right?
Yeah. He's up there.
Does he have the shoe game like off the field too though? Like is he rocking like the Jays?
Yes.
I'm sure.
Anybody with a Nike deal, that's who I would want to be, who also has a sense of style.
I think Mookie came through my head too. There's some good options. Maybe
no,
that'll be.
Mookie's style scares me a little bit.
Oh, okay. Okay, not in Mook's swag.
What about Tyler O'Neill? That's like you basically don't even have to change.
Already there.
You are Tyler
Every day.
That's so weird. Yeah, somebody called me Tyler O'Neill the other day. So.
I could see the resemblance.
Trev, I think the only NL series that's left out for now, Phillies Reds, 2 games, both blowouts. I'm going to sneak in another ad here. Maybe it was the medical stuff on the couch last night getting me a little emotional. Go listen to the Castellanos Rose podcast, Chris Rose rotation. Like, I don't know who does podcast awards and stuff, but like I think that should win something. Castellanos is so true to himself, and I mean the smartphone stuff was hilarious. The Miggy Cavs it's all just incredible how he talks about hitting. He's a genuine Marlins fan, which was kind of blew me away.
Florida boy.
He grew up there, and his dad was linked to the team and stuff. It's awesome. So there's some Reds hype. I don't know anything on this or anything on your Phils in general.
My Phils or Trev's Phils?
Trev's.
Sorry,
Phils.
I just got on my Phils in general, I'm waiting for them to turn the corner. It's a weird, that division's strange. I'm not even paying attention to any standings for the next, I don't know, 2 months. Like okay. I need to get into like late August and September to really see what's going on. I don't think the Mets are going to run away with it. I just don't feel that way. You know, I'm sticking with my Braves. It just seems like the Phillies, like they have everything you need. I don't know, man. I don't get it.
Okay.
I don't get it. I do root for them though, all the time. And we might hear about another Philly later in the show. Whoa. How about that?
Tease.
Ad.
Whoa.
All right. Well, let's Trev, you want to crank out the ale? We'll do that. And then we'll tee off some Interleague in a little bit. You ready? Oh, he looks ready.
Yes.
Okay. Fire it up. DJ BBD.
Starting things off, my Twinkies go into Birdland, and they lose 2 out of 3 to a team that's not even really trying, and who they had previously beat 13 times in a row. The Twins win the first game 3-2, then lose 7-4, 6-3. The biggest thing about this whole series is Rob Refsnyder smacking his face into the center field wall. Neither of the teams hit particularly well. The Orioles starting pitchers pitched really well, 2.51 ERA, and their bullpen pitched 3.29 ERA, so that's pretty dang good. The Twins are not doing it right now. My boy Barrios, the ace. A lot of trade talk. He goes 8 innings pitched and 1 earned run in game 1. Donaldson and Simmons had 4 hits each. The only Twins that with more than 2 hits. That's not going to get it done. Garver gets placed on the IL with a groin issue. They haven't disclosed a lot of information about that. I'm curious. And Ref Snyder, after banging his face, also went on the IL. Orioles take 2 out of 3. Moving on, the White Sox went into Cleveland. The Indians took 2 out of 3. Wednesday was postponed. 8-6 White Sox, 3-1 Indians, 6-5 Indians. The Indians slashed 286, 316, 484. Well, the White Sox just didn't hit as well. Cesar Hernandez had 2 homers. Moncada, my guy, I love that guy. 5 hits. Eaton hits the only White Sox homer in the series. That can't be true.
Okay.
1 homer in a series, that's not going to get it done. It's probably why they lost 2 out of 3. Karinchak was a big story in that series, getting called out by the White Sox broadcast because he acts silly out there and he's also cheating. So that's why he got called out. Indians take 2 out of 3 from the White Sox. Red Sox went into Houston and got shellacked. The Astros took 3 out of 4. They won the first 3 games, 11-2, 5-1, 2-1 before the Red Sox won the last game, 5-1. Astros slashed 284, 357, 397, and the Red Sox did not hit. The starting pitchers for the Astros were great. Red Sox starting pitchers, not too bad. That's kind of been the story of their seasons. Their pitching has been pretty good. Kyle Tucker had 8 hits in this series. I like that. Altuve heating up 2 homers. Our boy Framber, Valdez, and Garcia both go 7 innings pitched, 1 earned run. Framber, is he the best pitcher in the league or what? That tiny little glove, I love me some Framber. Brantley, good news, could return relatively early on the upcoming road trip. And Kent Emanuel, sorry about this. He undergoes season-ending elbow surgery for the Astros, but they take 3 out of 4 from the Red Sox. This is a fun series to talk about. The Rays went into New York, and they split the series with the Yanks. 3-1 game 1. Rays take it 5-3 Yankees, 4-3 Yankees, and then our boy Yarby tossed the gem, 9-2 Rays. Beating Cole in the last game. Both offenses struggled because the Yankees stink at hitting the ball. And what else happened? Yarby had a great start. First complete game. 2 earned runs in that. Meadows went off. Friend of the pod. 6 hits, 3 homers, 8 RBIs. Frazier with the walk-off homer in game 2. He hit that ball. It looked like it was going to go second deck, and it barely got over the wall. What is going on? And this is really good news for the Yankees. Severino start his rehab assignment on Sunday. You need him, guys. You need him. Series splits 2-2. And last but not least, my A's, Bo Mel's A's, go into Seattle. The Mariners take 2 out of 3. 6-5 Mariners, 12-6 A's, 6-0. That doesn't make any sense. I think there might be some tomfoolery on the sheet here because Minaya threw a complete game.
Oh, he did.
Did he not?
It says that.
But the Mariners didn't win the game that he threw a complete game, right?
Correct.
They did not.
Okay,
Correct.
so I think the A's took 2 out of 3. We'll talk to our research department about that. The A's slash 292, 349, 478, and the Mariners don't hit because they don't hit. Starting pitchers for the A's, 4.32 ERA, but the relievers with the 1.64. Mariners starting pitching 4.5, and the relievers gave it up, a 10.5 ERA in the series. Minaya with the complete game shutout, 8 Ks in game 3. I'm pretty sure they won that one, Max. Olsen, 7 hits, a homer, 2 doubles, 5 RBIs. The walk-off was a Tom Murphy sac fly in game 1. A couple of bad news breaks for each center fielder. Laureano placed on the 10-day IL, and Kyle Lewis placed on the 10-day IL. Seeking a second opinion, but it doesn't look good. A's 2 out of 3.
Almost.
That's happened to me a couple times now where the sheet is wrong, and I just read it like Ron Burgundy.
It's tough.
I just keep going.
I
caught that one.
You caught it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I caught that one, though.
Proud of you. That was good. On your toes.
A lot of baseball. A lot of baseball. Wingnut. Baseball. Let's see if PBD's got it. He's going. Baseball. Nailed it.
There you go.
Wingnut. What jumped out? What do you got?
I was watching the Rays and the Yankees closely. I've been watching the Yankees closely since the whole death situation. Tigers, anybody swept by the Tigers dies.
Whole death situation. God.
You guys, I don't know. And I follow Joe's McFly on Instagram.
Great follow.
Oh my gosh. His post. I never watch people's videos on Instagram because it's just loud. His are so funny and they're so much better whenever the Yankees win. But I just was loving all of y'all's rants up until this series. And I was very curious to see what they did against the Rays and if they were able to start hitting again. Not really, but
Trevor Plouffe
that was a fun one to watch.
Trevor looks like he's raising his hand for a question. Yes.
I have in my possession what the Yankees don't have right now. Do you want to see?
Yes.
Bats. They can't hit. What's up with that? Are you kidding me? I was previewing this series against the Red Sox with C. Rose this morning. If you would have told me the Red Sox starting pitching at the beginning of the year, you would have told me they're going to be top 8 in ERA plus, second in FIP, and then the Yankees were going to be decidedly below average offensively, I would have said you're freaking crazy, but here we are. What is going on, Jake? You watch them way more than I do. I don't get it. Is it just a DJ LeMahieu thing? Like he's been bad this year. Like what is it?
So we went to yesterday's games. I went with the Jom Mom and Jom Dad. So that was a good time.
Hot.
Yes. So this was a roller coaster of a series. We felt all of the baseball emotions. The Yankees, they'd lose game 1. That's a 4-game losing streak. And then they put out their lineup for the Tuesday game, and it is a joke. They rested Giancarlo. They rested Glaber, and it's kind of like, hey, Glaber's 24 years old. Stanton DHs. Every day is kind of a half rest day for him. So, and they end up winning that game with the Frazier walk-off. Then they win the next day. Montgomery shoves, and they do enough. And, okay, you come into Cole Day, about to take 3 out of 4 against the Rays, who had been the hottest team in baseball. And then Cole gets roughed up. And there was some bad umping, and it was legitimate. It's Trev, go check out the chart. It's not why they lost. I'm not saying it's an excuse.
I saw the chart.
Yarby got another plate, which, hey, I like Yarby. I'll support it. The Yanks aren't hitting. Trev, I think there's some ball stuff. You mentioned the Clint Frazier home run. Looked like a Trevor Plouffe second deck job and just cleared the wall, and it was like, what? And then DJ, I mean, obviously the short porch has helped his power numbers a little bit because that's where his power stroke is. I don't know if the contract's in his head a little bit. I don't know if the balls are in his head a little bit. Man, the Yankees' offense is a little bizarre right now. Andujar's getting going. That would be interesting. Gary Sanchez has had a good 10-game stretch, but, man, it's the things that Yankee fans are reaching for in those hitting stats is pretty wild. Like, we looked at the stats from the 4-game series, and I think the highest batting average, was in the 3s. Like, nobody had a good 6 for 10 or anything like that. That just hasn't been happening lately, so I don't know. I mean, the hitting coach came out the other day and said it doesn't look like the guys are having fun, and it's like, oh, that's exactly what you want to hear about your favorite sports team. So I don't know. I'm excited to see the energy this weekend in the Bronx. Yankees, Red Sox, first time this season. But yeah, I mean, a lot of guys just need to see a couple balls drop in or a couple balls sneak out, and hopefully that does it.
I mean, that slash line. The Rays actually were worse than the Yankees offensively. Both teams were trash offensively. But you look at that slash line for the Yankees, and it's just like, man. And that's a team you get excited about their offense. And it's just not.
Used to.
Yeah.
The Rays will have series like that. They're not like an offensive juggernaut. Like they'll match it up, and sometimes it'll work really well, and sometimes it won't. They're going to pitch, though. The Yanks, they got to hit. Yeah. They don't have the pitching to not hit. And that's what we're seeing right now. I don't know. And there's nothing coming in the pipeline that I know of.
Yeah.
So you got your guys, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, there's fans clamoring for a AAA first baseman, Chris Gittens. Maybe he'll get a shout on Farm to Fame. But yeah, I mean, he's not like a big time prospect, but he's hitting. And the Yankees, again, that's normally not Yankees fodder. That's not give the guy the shout. So we'll see. I mean, they survived that, and hey, if they win 2 out of 3 against Boston, I mean, Yankees mania will be back on. There'll be a game out or so. If they lose 2 out of 3 or get swept by Boston, the sky will fall. It'll be Fire, Boone, and Cashman. So that's baseball, Susan, a little bit there. What else do we got? A's Mariners. You were all over that. That the A's did take 2 out of 3. So that's researcher Max. It's okay, man. He's coming back to the States soon.
Ooh.
I think Monday's the day, so we're excited for that. He's gonna be in the office now and then. If you guys have something about A's Mariners, knock yourself out. I am excited to get to Red Sox Astros, so I'll kick it to whoever wants it.
Well, who do y'all like in the West?
I'm a Houston Astros believer, but the thing with the A's is it doesn't matter who's on their team; they're just going to win 96 games. So tough to count them out. I will say I think in that series, Bomel tied somebody for most franchise wins. That's so bad. I don't know that. A big milestone happened for Bomel. BBD. You should look that up right now. How about that? We should know that.
Yeah. What do you need me to look up?
Bomel reached a milestone.
I'll find
the chat probably is already yelling at me right now.
I think it was his 800th win in Oakland. I think it was that, but
I want to give a shout out to
Tony
him.
La Russa for most wins in A's history.
There it is.
With his 799th, so he's around the 800 number. I don't know if he got 800 by now.
Beauty.
June 2nd, that
Okay.
article.
Shout out Bomel. Everyone loves him. Anybody that's ever played for him loves him. So, like that.
Who do you like in the West, Kels?
I am from Houston, H-Town, Foggy Town, Clutch City, Space City, Bayou City, home of the Purple Sprite, city where the stadium drops the top. And so I grew up an Astros fan, and then I feel like the rest of the league, I got myself in a little pickle with all the stuff that happened. But I feel like
cheating.
Yes.
Oh.
I feel like this year I'm kind of not hating them as much, which I feel like you guys are the same way because they're proving that they're still really good. Like when like Altuve and Bregman and Correa, when they weren't hitting, I was like, oh, this is a bad look. But now Bregman, Altuve are swinging it good. I like them in the West. I wish I liked the Angels in the West because if I don't see Mike Trout in October in my lifetime.
The Angels?
I'm saying I want to like them, but I obviously can't because I just want to see Mike Trout.
Because they stink.
Yes, it's ridiculous. Get some pitching. Okay, Quintana is not enough. But yeah, I mean, out of those,
that's what I think about the Astros. I think it's the pitching that is doing it. They have guys stepping up everywhere. I just every time someone gets the ball, I'm like, this guy has funky stuff and could go 8-inning shutty. And they have that offense behind him
this year.
To my knowledge, no.
Okay.
I mean, it's their top 6 right now, and does this include injuries? Yes, because Brantley's out. So, I mean, their top 6 right now, Altuve, Correa, Bregman, Jordan, Yuli, Kyle Tucker, and then if you add Brantley to that, like, that goes with anyone, and they have a lot of pitching, They
need bullpen help. They need a bullpen piece, and that's it.
And I'm interested to see if and how they address that because I know Paredes, he was kind of their big setup guy last year in the playoffs. He's kind of buried in the pen right now. I don't know what's going on there. I'd say Houston fans reach out and let us know. But yeah, I think the other part of that is in the playoffs, they just kicked Christian Javier to the bullpen, and that's a guy who can be lights out. And, one of these guys in their rotation right now will end up being a bullpen guy. Greinke or Keedy, Garcia, Framber, Oda, Rizzi. I mean, those are talented guys. Does McCullers come back? I don't know. So the Astros are kind of loaded.
They're loaded, dude. Like That's exactly what you want going into the playoffs. I mean, if McCullers is back, Odorizzi hasn't even like gotten into the swing of things yet. I think he'll be much better than he's been as soon as he gets some innings under his belt. But if you look at like the guys who have the most starts, there's Greinke with 12, Javier with 9, and then Garcia, McCullers, and Urquidy all have 9 as well. 367, 323, 289, 296, 302. Like these guys can pitch.
Yeah.
Get a bullpen piece, move one of these guys to the pen, 2 of them to the pen, and you're looking at a scary, scary playoff team.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to Martin Perez. He dropped it on the table the last game. And like we talked about the emotions of baseball, if the Red Sox were about to get 4 games swept, instead they win the last game, and now they head to the Bronx. If they win tonight, the Red Sox fans will be feeling good again. The 2 final series here, Trev, I gave the award to them a couple episodes ago. I was asking what kind of quarterback were they going to be? Were they going to be Brett Favre, Tarkington? Were they going to be Kirk Cousins? Twins lose 2 out of 3 to the Orioles. They are dead.
We've declared them dead.
They already did that.
Sell. Start trading now.
They're talking about it. They're talking about Barrios. I mean, I don't know if the Twins are going to want to do that because to me it feels like trade the old guys. The Nelson Cruzes, people like that are on those 1-year deals, but they don't need to completely start over. Like they still can. What's it called? It's not rebuilding, it's reloading. I think that's like the catchy phrase that everybody uses. I don't want them to see him trade Barrios, but if they do, I'm going to be super happy for the guy because he's going to go somewhere that's a contender and he's going to freaking rock it in the playoffs. So I don't know, man. They're not coming back this year. It's just not going to happen.
That's been tough.
So dead.
Yeah, because they were projected to win 90-something games.
Yeah, I remember y'all talking about.
We all took the over on that.
What do y'all call those shows? The TPPs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was on the train.
Wrong on that one.
I was on the train.
Yeah.
God.
What about the Indians just continuing to win? They're like literally not. It's not that they're not trying, but they're not really trying, and they just keep winning.
Yeah. Do you think
Take 2 or 3 from the White Sox? They're 3 games back, 6 games over 500. They're not even like they can't hit. They're pitching pretty good, which is they always do. I don't know. Is this like a fluke thing for them, you think? Or are they going to end up back kind of in the middle of the pack again?
Have y'all started paying attention to Emmanuel Clase for the Indians yet? I know I heard Chris Rose talk about him, but that and then
how could you not?
When we were talking, so he had the suspension. I think it was in 2020. But he claimed that he did not take any PEDs. But for the Astros, the guy in the bullpen was Kent Emmanuel, and he just got shoulder surgery or something. He's out for the season, but he's the one who chose number 0 for his number because that's how many days he says that he deserved to be suspended. But I was going through the box scores, and when I'm going through the Indians box score, like not one guy in that lineup, like you're saying, like really stands out at all. When I think of the Indians, granted, I talk about young guys, but I just think of Emmanuel Clase. But I like the White Sox a lot.
The White Sox are a juggernaut.
Yeah. And they've lost some of their best guys. And they're still Yermin Mercedes gave them that spark in the beginning of the year. I think he's about to drop below 300 for the first time all season, but now they have other guys stepping up.
Yeah, no Eloy, Lou Bob. Like, that's crazy they've been able to sustain what they've been able to do without those 2 guys because they're obviously, a big part of that nucleus there. But it just goes to show they had so much talent on that roster. We talked about it before the season. Sometimes that doesn't work out. Like on paper, you can be really good and it doesn't work out. It's been working out for them. Their pitching's been great. Lance Lynn. What are teams doing not going after Lance Lynn?
Analytics.
I don't get it.
Analytics geeks don't get. He doesn't strike out as many people. He might get he's a free agent after this year, right? Like he might be in line for the big one. Love that.
What's his contract? What's he been getting? Is he like paid or what? Let me go look.
He's on a 3 for 30, I think, because he became a free agent.
That's not a lot.
Yeah, what do you consider paid, Trev?
Paid for me.
Great question.
There's levels to it. I think if you're close to the 9 figures overall, that's like paid. and then there's paid, and then there's trying to get paid.
Okay. So what?
So I'm looking at Lance right now. Let's see. I'm looking at
medium
right now.
paid.
So he's up to date 65 mil, and that's it. This is last year of the deal. Yeah. So he'll end up being paid.
Yeah, I think he hit free agency initially that year that nobody got that first year that nobody got signed. So he got the late spring training and the weird year, finished up with the Yankees, then he hit real free agency. Got a 3 for $30 kind of early in the process, so he just kind of took it, and here we are. Most valuable deal.
Yeah, he can't get a qualifying offer or anything. That I was thinking would the White Sox just try to get him back for a 1 year something? I think a lot of teams will probably do that with him. Let me get you a 1 year 25.
I think Lance is an interesting guy. I don't know, but I think some team will give him the bag. I mean, just keep throwing those 3 fastballs, baby. Lance Lynn's fastball farm.
He has a 1.23 ERA this year.
Whoops.
Yeah. Oops. You haven't been paying attention to that?
No.
He's an old guy. That's why. He's an old guy. You're off the old guys.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, he's the real deal. He's the real deal. I'm trying to see his innings and what we're doing here. Has he been super durable?
He has
208. Yeah, he has been
58 and 2/3 innings. Yeah. Dang, I had no clue that he was having that great of a.
We're a big Lance Lynn pod here.
Season. Well, I just haven't seen him because we've been following the ERA leaders a lot because Trevor Rogers for the Marlins was really up there. And I didn't see Lance Lynn in there up until this week.
Well, speaking of those Florida fish, Kelsey, if you're ready.
Woo!
You ready for
one last thing? One last thing
at the buzzer.
Shout out Tristan McKenzie, 8 straight K, setting the franchise record. He came on Sequence. Go check that out. I like that guy a lot. He's super skinny, though.
Yeah.
He needs to put on some weight.
He's been up and down a lot recently. Between AAA back up, AAA back up.
Eat some burgers, baby.
Burgers. Okay.
All right, Kelsey. When the music kicks in. Yup.
Time for some interleague action. The Tigers at the Brewers. Series split. The Brewers take game 1 3-2 in 10 innings. The Tigers take game 1. The Tigers take game 2 10-7. The Tigers slashed 258, 361, 562 with 5 home runs. The Brewers, not great. 212, 288, 500 with 6 home runs. The starting pitching in this series was terrible. It was terrible. The Tigers, a 7.94 ERA. The Brewers starters, a 9 ERA, but both bullpens look pretty good. For the Tigers, 2.84. For the Brewers, 3.27. Stoke, 5 hits, the only player on either team with more than 2 hits. And if you paid attention to game 2 of that series, it was bonkers. There were 4 players between the 2 teams who had 2 home runs apiece. Stope and Haas for the Tigers, and Wong and Taylor for the Brewers. And Lorenzo Cain, very, very sad, placed on the 10-day IL. That was a series split. Then we go to the Angels at the Giants. Another series split. Giants take game 1, 6-1. Angels take game 2, 8-1. The offenses were not great. Giants hit 210, Angels hit 215 with no home runs and just 4 extra base hits. The bullpen for the Giants, 1.23 ERA. Their starting pitcher, 6.75, but that's because Kevin Gausman did not start a game in that series. Anthony Rendon has a 3-hit game, 5 RBI in that game. He had 5 of the 8 in game 2. Longoria homers again after not homering since April 13th. He has now homered in 5 of his last 10 since May 20th. Quintana was placed on the 10-day IL. And Upton exited Tuesday's game after colliding with Keen Wong. That was a ugly collision if y'all did not see that one. That was tough in the outfield. And then the series that we were all excited about, we all had our eyes on, that is the Pirates at the Royals, a riveting matchup. The Royals swept that one. They won game 1, 7-3. They won game 2, 10-5. They hit 362, 408, 652. And the Pirates hit 232, 276, 362 with 1 home run. Pirates starting pitching, 12.38 ERA in this series. And the Royals bullpen was great, a 1.42 ERA. Their starters were a 4.63. Benintendi hit a grand slam. Perez was pissed off at you guys for not putting him on the All-Star team. So he went off. He's had, I think, 2 consecutive games with 2 home runs. And we're going to talk about this guy maybe a little bit later. Key Bryant Hayes activated on Thursday. That's exciting for Pittsburgh. Marlins at the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays sweep that one. 5-1 in game 1, 6-5 in game 2. Blue Jays starting pitching, 4.82, but their relievers, a 1.04 ERA. Slim Daddy Batty, Gurriel Jr., 5 hits and a home run each. Jazz Chisholm Jr., Swag King, Drip King, Sauce King of the Miami Marlins hit his 6th home run of the season. Game 2 was wild if you didn't see that. Marlins were up a lot. Blue Jays came up to win after Bo Bichette hit the game-tying 2-run triple in the 9th. Then Panic walked it off with a sac fly and Marte dropped the ball. It was really, really ugly. The Blue Jays sweep that one versus the Marlins. The Marlins meltdown in game 2. The second series that all of us were super excited about was the Rangers at the Rockies. Jake's Rocks. The Rockies swept that one. They won game 1 in 11 innings, 3-2. They won game 2, 6-3. And last night was an ugly one for Mike Foltynewicz. Rockies won that one 11-6. The Rocks hit 330, 382, 491, and 13 of their 24 hits went for extra bases. The Rangers' numbers were awful. I'm not going to read them. Besides, they hit 167 as a team. Get this. At Coors Field, the Rockies starting pitching, 0.87 ERA in that series. The Rangers, 6.75. Gomber, 6 shutty. Marquez, 7 innings of 1-run ball. And Senzatella, 7 2/3 and 1 earned. There were 4 rocks, recorded 5 hits with multiple extra base hits. Blackman, Hot Boy Fuentes, Hampson, Tapia. Rockies walked it off in game 1 on a wild pitch. It was bonkers. And McMahon sat on Thursday. Story MRI comes back clean. We love to see that. Friend of the program. He's expected to return on Tuesday.
I knew you were a pro. I knew it. I knew it was going to happen just like that.
Well, we're out, Trev.
Josh Fuentes is hot. You called him a hot boy.
Y'all call him
He's
hot boy all the time. You think he's hotter than his cousin.
I 100%. And he DM'd me and said he loves what we do. So that flattery is all I need.
I love that for you, Trev. I love that for you. Truly.
I like when people pump my gas for sure.
Yeah. Well, I just know that you love him.
I like when
he's pretty good too. Not just a hot guy. There's a little bit of substance there as well.
Yeah. Deeper than that.
I like when guys pump my gas, the Trevor Plouffe story. So all in all, Rays atop the AL East, 2 games up on the Red Sox, Yanks and Jays, all with good records. White Sox and Cleveland on top. The KC Royals, who you just talked about, they're starting to play good baseball again. Athletics and Astros atop the AL West. Athletics still with the 1-game lead. Mets, we talked about that. Cubbies, we talked about that. The San Francisco Treat Giants are still a game up on the Padres and 2 up on the Dodgers.
Crazy, bro.
In Interleague, I can't believe I'm starting with my Rocks, but the Colorado Rockies are 19-12 at home, 4-22 on the road. That is still shocking to me. But like you said, Kelsey, I mean, that starting pitching, they shoved it home this series. Good for them. Yeah.
And Gomber, I was watching, something on MLB Network. Gomber at home at Coors Field has like a 0.88 ERA at Coors Field.
Good for him.
Makes no sense.
That's wild.
Yeah. But their starting pitching has been doing pretty good at home. If you look at the splits, which is weird. But yeah, it was not a good game for Fulte last night.
Yeah, we'll man, I think by the time we get to Colorado for the All-Star game, I think there's those Rocky trade rumors. We're obviously going to hear them about Story. We've already heard them. But man, some of those arms are interesting. John Gray, Marquez, Freeland. I wonder if the Rockies really get in the trade mix this year. I hope they do. Sweep the Rangers. Sorry, Rangers.
God, they stink.
So that's because Gibby didn't pitch, and he's our friend.
Yeah.
I love Gibby so much. There's a lot of guys I really like on that team. Gallo, Kiner Falefa, Trevino, Gibby, obviously. I'm missing a few guys. Willie Calhoun, but boy, oh boy. I mean, they're my least favorite organization. Oh, second.
They are?
The Angels picked them over. Angels are my least favorite organization in baseball, followed by the Texas Rangers.
What's your least favorite ballpark?
Ooh. Whoa.
Oh, man. You just hit me with that one, huh?
Careful.
The Coliseum, it sucks. I mean, they're in Tampa. Those are just two horrible fields. I mean, it's just – I like the fans in Oakland. Like, that's cool. That's like the only redeeming quality of that entire place because it's freezing at night there, even during the summer. I don't understand how that is. That's like a Mark Twain thing, right? He said that.
Mm-hmm. Maybe. I don't know.
My bad. I read
Mark
books
Twain?
before. Whatever.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Educated.
So Tampa and there, they both stink.
Stanford guy busting out his Mark Twain quotes. Always.
I went to LSU, Trev. Give me a break.
Go Tigers.
I think Mark Twain is from the South, wasn't he?
We don't read Mark Twain down in the bayou.
BBD, can you fact check me? Where was Mark Twain from?
Don't think it's the South. There's like a Mark Twain house in Connecticut, so I've kind of anchored myself into Mark Twain. But if I have to give him to the South, I mean, well,
he wrote about this.
Now we're starting wars again.
I don't know.
BBD?
I know learned about him a lot at one point.
Huge.
Oh, because he died in Connecticut, so that's you probably
Let's
know the
go!
house he died in. But this is why
Way to go. You guys killed Mark Twain.
He spent most of his life and his like grave is in Elmira, New York, where my grandma's from. So there's a lot of Mark Twain stuff up there. So that's why I know
he was a New Yorker.
So Southern New York for Mark Twain.
Western New York.
Okay.
I'm looking that up. I don't believe you guys.
Trev, speaking of guys you like, whenever Evan Longoria gets brought up, and he's going beast mode right now. They split that series. I mean, a little 2-game interleaguer, but holy smokes, 5 of the last 10.
Mark Twain was raised in Missouri.
You were still on Mark Twain.
I saw that coming.
I'm
He was
sorry.
born in Missouri.
Is Missouri the South? I have no idea.
Ooh, is Missouri the South? Kelsey.
Medium.
Okay. Huge.
And his town is
Hey,
Florida,
guess what? He
Missouri.
was born in Florida, Missouri.
Missouri.
I can't.
Missouri.
The episode that Jim is not here, we go down the Mark Twain wormhole. That is, I would have lost that.
You would have loved
bet.
this.
We're a cultured pod.
I would have lost that bet. Missouri. I guess the Mason-Dixon line, so that kind of is middle.
That's by Maryland.
Medium. That's exactly what I said.
Isn't it in Missouri?
I think the line is decently far north.
I was in a here we're
Because we used to make fun of
the
our
real stuff
Virginia
right
friends
now.
for being below the line.
I was in a Mark Twain play in 3rd grade, and I still remember most of the songs. We'll sing maybe at the end of the show.
Can you just give us a little tape?
Of course, you were a theater guy.
Hannibal, Missouri. Hannibal, the only place to be. Hannibal, we'll get there in a hurry. Hannibal, the only place for me. Something like that, yeah. Bang.
I love that. That's like you singing on a steamboat on the Missouri River. I love
I'm
that.
smoking purple flower. It's burning my chest.
Ooh.
That's the remix.
That was beautiful. Riveting.
Let's see.
Did Mark Twain write
I think
that?
so. Tigers, Brewers.
Blue Jays sweep. Oh, I went Blue Jays.
Okay.
You want to talk Blue Jays?
Blue Jays sweep. Manoah made his second start, not as good as his first one in the Yankeeville. That's because the Yankees can't hit, apparently.
Yeah.
But I really like this guy, and I've been saying for the entire year, like they need starting pitching. They need somebody to step up. Thought it was going to be Nate Pearson. Hasn't really been Nate Pearson. I like Manoah. Can you be the guy? Even if he is the guy, this is a team that if they want to be serious contenders, have to go out and get a starting pitcher.
Yeah.
They have to. I think the bullpen's been pretty good. That guy, that crazy boy Romano with the squats. Been really good.
I remember Merriweather at the beginning of the year.
I was going to say Merriweather's out, but dang, that was fun to watch while it lasted. But they need a starter.
Yeah.
And I know there's a lot of Blue Jays fans in our chat. And tell me if they're going to go get one or if they're not going to get one because I need to know.
I think I'm going to claim the Blue Jays as my AL team. Is that allowed? Working for John Boy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Y'all are such big. Okay. Claiming them?
Yeah, that's fine.
Thanks.
I'm okay with that.
Thank you.
Ooh, Scherzer to the Jays.
Okay.
Stop.
Give that to me. Give that to me.
I love Scherzer.
Get that out of here.
He's going somewhere.
Brown eye, pitching eye. Know what I mean?
Scherzer, I think he's got a really good pitching matchup today. Scherzer and it was on our Talkin' Baseball post. I forget.
Ian Anderson, isn't it?
It might be.
Ion Anderson.
No, Ian's facing the Dodgers. He's facing Julio.
Oh, they have the
Wheeler,
Dodgers
Wheeler.
now?
Scherzer Wheeler.
Oh, yeah.
Scherzer Wheeler today. Scherzer Wheeler today.
That's pretty. That's real pretty.
That's real nice.
Yeah.
Tigers Brewcoos, another interleague split. I'm kind of over it. Sorry.
I love it.
I'm sorry. And I think we kind of got to keep it moving anyways. We always say the first half of the show, that's for the teams. The second half is for the players, and we are getting into the standout performances. Standout performances. And the standout performances are brought to you by Dugout Mugs. Who, baby? We got four Dugout Mug faithful right here. Trev with the knob shot. Kelsey with the farm to fame. Talk about a flex. Just dropping that on the people. Whoops. And I've got 3 assorted Dugout Mugs in front of me. Dugout Mugs is the best. It's a baseball bat you can drink out of. Like I keep breaking it down to that because that's kind of all you need in life. Dugout Mugs is the best. They're in with all the teams. They're in with the players. We've got talking baseball ones, farm to fame. Personalize your own. Go check out Dugout Mugs. Use promo code JOMBOY, JOMBOY. Dugoutmugs.com/discount/JohnBoy, 35% off. And that's actually limited to the first, a limited amount of people. Then the discount code goes down to 30. So, hey, get in there now. Promo code JohnBoy, the perfect Father's Day gift. I mean, talk about your layups, baseball bat, whatever they like, put it on there. Dugout Mugs, dugoutmugs.com/discount/JohnBoy, 35% off. Standout performance. Kelsey, you mentioned it briefly, and I'm doing a partially legal pick. I'm doing a legal pick, and then I'm adding a partially illegal pick to that. I am taking Salvador Perez. Salvi had a 2-homer day, and that was in the Pittsburgh series. You talked about that in the Interleague. Kansas City is starting to go again. B, Salvi started the next series, which we're not supposed to talk about, but another 2-homer day. So and both of those games were in June, as you mentioned, right after we made our John Boy Media all baseball team, and we were a flip a coin between Salvi and Zunino. We gave it to Zunino because we thought he might not stick, and a couple days later, he is out. Salvi, basically a confirmed listener of the pod, so I appreciate that at least. But Salvador Perez, I'm taking his 2-homer day against Pittsburgh. I'm also sneaky taking the 2-homer day against Minnesota. But also, this Kansas City team started going again. They're 2 games above 500. We kind of wrote them off, DED, dead. And Salvi's having a year. He may be the catcher we see for the AL. In July in Denver at the All-Star game. Shout out to Salvi Perez. Trev, I'll go to you first on this one because you mentioned it on the All-Star ep. I mean, this is a guy you've played a lot of baseball against. How about Big Boy Salvi? Boy Salvi.
I love everything he does. I've been a huge fan of his since the beginning, even though he used to try to backpick me all the time. literally all the time because he knew it pissed me off. He would do it. Him and Moustakas would try to backpick me at third base. He'd try to throw behind me at first base. I'm like, Salvi. Every single time I went up to the plate, I swear this happened. I said, Salvi, I'm stealing off you today. And he would absolutely just laugh at me because he knew I wasn't going to steal against him. But guess what? I got a bag off him one time.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, Trev.
He threw the ball away. I was out, but the ball sailed away.
Let's go.
But no, Salvi's great. We talked about when he got the bag at the beginning of the year, how good it was for the Royals organization to reward a guy like him, who's literally been the heart and soul of their team. You know, got the ring, 2 World Series appearances, but he's just been like, he's a catcher that wants to catch every single day. And our good friend Drew Butera, when he was with the Royals, would tell me that he's like, man, I have the easiest job in the world because Salvi plays every day. I just sit there. So shout out to Salvi. He would have been on the All-Star team if we had more than one slot. Jimmy, we need to redo that whole thing. It can't just be one slot.
Y'all were like dueling it out for a lot of that.
It's tough.
You wanted Acuna.
Jimmy was not in a good mood that episode.
He wasn't, or you
sometimes
weren't?
when that happens.
No, it was. So I'll peel back the curtains. Because I told Jim, like, you know, because we kind of all get graded on it. And so that's where I was like, Jim, like, you know, do we each get a vote or what's going on? And he's like, well, I just put a lot of research into this. And I was like, well, like, we can put in research. So I don't know if we get a vote. So we're still figuring it out. I think we're massaging it and getting to a good place. But yeah, I mean, it's first ever John Boy Media all baseball team. So it's pretty.
The Acuna thing really hurt.
Yeah, you were
Jimmy
upset about that.
He's the hitting numbers. He's right. I know I don't watch enough Reds game to know how bad Winker and Castellanos have been in the outfield. I know they're not as good as Ronnie. So I don't know. We'll see where we land by the end of the year. Controversy. Anything on Salvi, Kels?
I was just cracking up after y'all had that whole conversation about who was going to be your catcher, and then the next 2 games he hits the 2 home runs. Yeah. I just thought that was poetic, beautiful, justice for Salvi. But the Royals had that insane start to the season, and Peter Moylan was all excited because he called that on one of our early episodes. He was like, these Royals can hit. Watch out for them. And they had that long, what was it? Do they have a 10-game win streak, or am I dreaming that? Did I dream that?
I don't know.
I don't know. They were up to a hot start, and then they sucked. And now they're getting back.
Yeah.
And that team, sneaky, like Peter Moylan said, can hit.
I think Pete needs to chill out a little bit. All right, Pete, you hearing this, buddy?
He's
No,
in the chat right now.
Yeah, he's
Is he? He's scared. He absolutely scares me because Australians are.
He texted me.
So.
He's having big time FOMO right now, and I'm scared for the Peter Moylan episode. But we'll do that one day. That might be a 10 p.m. episode. We'll see what's going on.
Yeah, should be a 10 p.m. episode.
Trevor, speaking of 10 p.m., who is your standout performance?
I want to go back and say one more thing about Selby before we move on. I think he's going to have a statue outside of Kauffman Stadium.
Love it.
Ooh.
Which is awesome. You don't get to say that about a lot of guys. He spent his entire career there, brought him a World Series. He's been the guy. How many more? He's got a bunch of years left now that they re-signed him. I think he might even end up being a manager there.
I like that.
He's an all-timer for the Royals. So I like it. I like that, Jay. Good job.
Thank you.
Proud of you.
Moving on to mine.
Okay.
2 things I like. Young, hot guys and old sugar daddy. So I'm going to give my stand-up to an old sugar daddy. Andrew McCutchen. Saw his batting average drop under the Mendoza line. Last 2 games, 2 for 3, 2 homers, 4 RBIs, 2 walks, got it back over. The Phillies can hit. If Andrew also starts picking it up, I really like this dang team. I just don't know if they're going to be there at the end of the year, but I wanted to give a shout out to Andrew just because I feel like he is one of those players when you look at his baseball reference page, like, oh, he's that good. I know he won the MVP. I understand that's, but I feel like that's so far ago that people forget just how good he is. If you go look at it, it's one of the fun baseball reference pages that we always reference. Go look. There's some black, bold numbers on it that we love to see. And, when he came to Philadelphia, I think a lot of people were like, oh, man, why are they giving him that contract? Is he done? And I think he's performed pretty well there. And I'm hoping that he starts picking it up right now. So this is my my shout out. Say, hey, Kutch, let's get it going, baby. 2 for 3 over the last 2 games, 2 homers, 4 ribbies, 2 walks. When you get the walks mixed with the homers, that means you're seeing the ball really well. So shout out, Kutch. Go check his baseball reference page out. Don't forget about the things that guy's done in this dang game.
He's also a great Twitter follow.
Oh yeah,
so good.
He's gonna be.
Yeah, he's the man.
He's gonna be in the content. He's gonna be in the content game once he's done playing.
Is he a friend of the program for you guys? Have y'all ever had him on?
He's been on Sequence with me. We go way back to the 2007 Arizona Fall League Desert Dogs champions. No big deal. We spent a lot of time together, so it's just one of those guys, man. Like him and like Longo. Like I love guys like that who have just been in the game for so long. They continue to produce even at their older age, and I feel like I just don't want to let people forget how good these guys have been.
Stand strong.
So shout out McCutcheon.
Beautiful.
Stand strong.
Kutch season. Kelsey, I'm really excited for your standout performer.
Thank you. Well, I don't know if you guys heard, but the Blue Jays are my AL team. And I am going to make a statement with that. So my standout performance is plural. Slim Daddy Vladdy, my alter ego, who I chose earlier. Okay? 4 for 4 with a home run, a double, and 3 RBI. And baseball fans, we're getting what we deserve right now. Okay? We're getting what we deserve. Tatis, Acuna, Vladdy leading the way. Beautiful. Vladdy hitting 335 on this. He has 17 home runs, so he's leading baseball on that. But then you look at his average. What?
Yeah, it's took the under on his homers. It's not looking like a good bet, but I'm happy. Yeah. I'm happy for him.
He said he was going to slap it around the park.
He's slapping it out too.
Yeah, happens to be doing that also.
He lost 42 pounds, and that power obviously didn't go anywhere. 45 RBI, 335, 17 home run, Slim Daddy Vladdy, getting it done.
He's 14 years old too. People forget that. Yeah. Like, are you kidding me with the power?
14.
Like, I saw it was Tatis Jr., Acuna, who's also a junior, and then Vladdy. Acuna's the oldest one at 22. Is that what it is?
Something like that.
That's ridiculous.
Not a math pod.
Do you know how hard it is to come up and hit when you're that young? And these guys have just done it their entire career. These guys are really special, and Vladdy's a huge part of that. I'm happy. Like, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but he had like a bounce back. Like, it was kind of like, let me look at the numbers. I'm talking without knowing right now. So you guys talk. Let me get my.
It's just like we have this for like the next decade. This is what we get, and it is beautiful. It's beautiful. While you're looking that up, my second standout performances from my Blue Jays is Randall Grichuk.
Get ready.
Trev?
Get ready for a bomb to be dropped.
Wait, is this true? I saw it in the chat.
What'd you see in the chat?
Are you dropping the passing?
I'm not dropping a passing.
No.
What?
Kelsey, tell him. The chat gets
Randall
excited.
is one of my good friends from high school. So we go back. And what I want to know what the passing bomb is.
Trev got duped by the chat.
I'm so sorry.
Trev got duped by the chat, and I was trying to get him
Someone said Barrios to the J. You said a bomb's about to be dropped, and I was like, wait.
No.
Jake just didn't know that Randall and I were friends. And
high school.
Oh, that Randall.
Yeah.
Like I was in his living room when he was drafted.
Wow.
2009, the pick before Mike Trout to the Angels.
Wow.
Which was very interesting. But for Randall, he went 2 for 5 with 2 home runs. This is a guy, when Kevin Pillar went away, it was like, okay, Randall's the guy. They signed him to that, 4-year, 45 extension over there. And then they get Springer. And it was very confusing because you were like, man, you just locked up Grich, and then you bring in Springer. And that kind of made, you guys talked about it a lot before the season started, that shifted Randall to fourth outfielder DH, and then Springer got hurt. And Randall, 286, 11 home runs. This is probably his best season. And he had Springer breathing down his back, and he's done it. He's done it this year. 2 home runs in that game. So, way to go, Randall Grichuk. Represent 281-713 H-Town Funky Town.
Hey, speaking of H-Town, you said there was the purple Sprite. I've done lean before.
Here we go.
Oh, okay.
I have.
Okay.
I got like strep throat. They actually gave me whatever the cough syrup is, and I don't like taking that stuff. Like I don't like it, so I didn't use it. And then it happened one night. I shared it with some buddies. We did the lean thing. Yeah. Whoa!
What
don't
happens?
Do that, kid. I felt like I was not walking but floating on a cloud.
Okay.
We might have to edit this.
Yeah. Well, so the episode it's live.
We record this live.
Oh, it's live. Okay. So
I might as well make it worse.
Don't do that, kid. That's just ridiculous.
I might as well make it worse.
I'm kidding.
I took a sociology class freshman year of high school, freshman year of college. Excuse me. And the professor brought up robo-tripping, which is kind of similar to lean. And yeah, I don't know if this should be on the air. I mean, it's basically the same thing. It's cough syrup, and if you chug enough, like, you get a buzz. And me and 19 years old, me and one of my buddies did it, and we just had a bad time. Like, that's all it was. We didn't even go out. We stayed in a dorm room and just drank. I should stop talking.
Can I show you guys something that isn't this?
Yeah.
Okay, I got Trev stolen base on
Sally.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
A little bit of a change of pace. A little laggy.
I think it's going laggy, but yeah, Trev, you're right. He kind of threw it away, but you go all the way to third on it.
Look at that.
Wow.
Oh, I remember it.
Anything the team needs. Laggy or just Trevor Plouffe's speed. Hey-o.
Hey, I guarantee I told him I was going to steal a base on him.
Like that.
Proud of you.
Look at how out I was. Look at that.
just had to be there. Kels, I love calling them Kelsey's Blue Jays, so you have
Thank
them.
You.
Welcome.
Thank you so much.
And yeah, I thought, I love the Grichuk fun fact because he's obviously been super connected to this show, this program, that fuck Grichuk. And I mean, Slim Daddy Vladdy baseball, can't talk about him enough. So they're your Blue Jays, and I think power play taking 2 standout performers on the first set. That's just that's just a power play, and I respect.
Gotta leave my mark, leave a legacy.
I respect that.
Let's
keep it moving to Trevor's favorite part of the episode.
I don't have the sound effect for that.
Slump Watch. BBD, who are our contenders to add to Slump Watch this week?
Well, the guys we brought back, a couple of them have earned their ways off, and the guys we're potentially adding, we got Joey Gallo, 0 for 9, 3 walks, 4 Ks. Mike Zunino, he goes 0 for 10, 2 walks, a hit by pitch, 7 Ks. Whoa, typically a Yankee killer, doesn't get it done this week. Teoscar Hernandez, 0 for 8 with a walk. Or an RBI mixed in there. Brandon Crawford, 0 for 6. He's had a good year, not this week. And Yermin Mercedes, 0 for 9, 2 walks, an RBI. Those are the 5 guys we're potentially adding in.
Okay. I like the list. And guys, I have some good news, and this is how we've tricked Trevor into doing this segment. We want guys to get off Slump Watch. We're encouraging them. And from last episode, how about Juan Soto? There's a big name for you. He drops a casual 5 for 11, 2 homers. That's a shame to flame. Golf clap for Juan Soto. He is off. Anthony Rendon, Tony Meatballs. He goes 3 for 9. Big 5 RBI day. He's off. Claps for Tony Meatball. I love it. Mookie Betts. I said, Papi, is he good at baseball? He says, man, is he good at baseball? 6 for 11. Hello. How's your day, Mookie? You get big claps. You're coming off. So we get rid of Mookie for sure, Rendon for sure, and Soto for sure. Miguel Sano, the big man, Trev, I'm going to leave this to you. He's currently in an 0 for 19. He hadn't been having a good year. I mean, are we watching Sano? Where are we at? Uh-oh.
Oh,
no. Silent
Are you
Trev.
muted?
Oh,
No,
he was
no,
muted.
I muted
he was
myself.
muted. We're okay.
I unplugged, replugged. I'm trying to avoid Robot Trev.
Robo.
Sano literally just got named the Twins Player of the Month in May.
Okay.
But he hasn't had a good May. I think he hit 190 in May. He just hit 9 homers. So yeah, he's been very inconsistent. I mean, yeah, he deserves to
Okay.
be here.
He'll stay.
You said he got Player of the Month in May.
Yes.
He hit 190.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's Twins baseball this year.
Yeah.
Says a lot about the Twins this year.
Yeah.
7 home runs, 18 RBI, 190.
All right, so I'll leave Miguel Sano. The one that might be controversial, Bregman was also on this list. He went 1 for 12 the series before. He went 3 for 15 versus the Red Sox. There's a walk. There's a hit by pitch. I mean, we still expect more from Breggy. Do we want to leave him or no?
He's better than that. Last
I'm not
he's
paying
hitting
any attention right now,
148.
Trev not paying attention, so we'll leave Bregman. I like that. Okay, I'm going to eliminate Brandon Crawford. He only had 6 at-bats. I'm not going to burn him over that.
Okay.
Joey Gallo, that's been a big part of the show. I'm going to put Zunino. I mean, the fact that Zunino and Salvi Perez have done what they've done after the episode is, I mean, just good comedy.
The divergent paths.
Yeah, so Zunino goes. I think Teoscar Hernandez, he's been having a really good year. There were some people that were mad we didn't talk about him more on the All John Boy team. So I'll put him on the list. So that leaves Gallo and Yermin, and I'll kick it to the expert on this. Winger, should we put Yermin on here?
He has just been sliding like the last month. But when I say sliding, he was hitting over 400 for the first, however, but obviously he wasn't able to maintain that average. But his average it's consistently going down. We're at a consistent decline right now. So I don't even know if it's considered slumping because his power is not there anymore. He's not really, I guess. I just don't know what we should expect from him consistently to know what his average should be.
You know what?
But he's not been doing well.
I think I heard what I wanted to hear because I got on the Yermin bus just like everyone else. But in my head, the mental comparison I made, and I forget if I said it on here or somewhere else, Jesus Aguilar, when he broke out, I think he was around 28, and a lot of guys were like, yeah, that dude's always been a hitter, blah, blah, blah. I felt the same way about him. And you know what? I'm going to chalk it up as he just went through a little slide. He regressed to the mean, and I want to keep an eye on him because I want him to bounce back, my thick king. So, and the other final option was Joey Gallo, and like we've watched a lot of Joey Gallo on this podcast.
If we add Gallo to Slump Watch, that's the rest of our year we'll be watching him.
Yeah. All right. So the updated Slump Watch: Yermin Mercedes, Teoscar Hernandez, Mike Zunino, Miguel Sano, and Alex Bregman. And we'll get them all off next episode. That's the deal. Let's. Do you have this soundbite, BBD?
That means I'm on fire, baby. Like Waco.
Oh.
I haven't heard that one.
Yeah, that almost those lyrics get a lot.
They change soon.
that sound clip is very narrow. En Fuego. Let's see who's hot. Patrick Wisdom. Ooh, love some wisdom. How about a little 6 for 12, 3 yabos? Good for you, kid. Have a series. Jonathan Scope, 5 for 9, 2 homers of his own. Odubel Herrera, 6 for 11. 2 homers. Soto, 5 for 11, 2 homers. Ronald Acuna Jr., 6 for 14, 2 yackers. Mountcastle, Trev's Ryan Mountcastle, 5 for 12, 2 homers. Vladdy, he can always be there. Matt Olson, those pretty eyes, Matt Olson, 7 for 12, a homer there. Dominic Smith, is he going to get going for the Mets? He was so good last year, 6 for 10. And Kyle Tucker, 8 for 12. Yup. That's a pretty good in Fuego. Any of those cats you guys want to talk about? Cats.
Odubel Herrera broke my face. so I never cheer for him.
Okay.
I got smoked.
Really?
I got smoked and
What?
fractured my orbital floor, and it was off the bat of a Odubel Herrera at 8:53 p.m. with 2 outs in the top of the 7th.
Is that on the internet?
There are pictures on the internet of my face swollen in bed with Starburst jelly beans. So I do not cheer for Odubel Herrera, although it was not his fault. Obviously, it was foul, and I was in the camera well, and I wore it. But I got street cred, so I don't cheer for him.
Wow.
That's my opinion.
I think.
Okay.
I think he's.
Never cheering
Yeah,
for
I
him
think he's
again.
got
I don't think
Robo.
I ever really did cheer for him.
Robo Trev. Let's go. It was Kelsey's episode. And we've got the picture up.
There we are. And that
Holy.
was just the start. Like, that doesn't even show how bad because the coloration, when you have a black eye, like drips down, goes down your face, like drains out. Yep.
Kelsey,
Back to work in 3 days.
that picture looks like me at about 11:15 p.m. every night. That is hilarious.
Yeah, with the Starburst.
That is fantastic.
Starburst jelly beans, my favorite. Yep.
Um,
That was the second day of the season. The year after they did all the extended nettings for all 30 teams. So the story was like everywhere. It's great.
That's so good. And I think Odubel Herrera has some bad guy stuff in his past, so we cannot be an Odubel.
Yeah, we don't.
Still Robo, still Robo.
rooted for him.
Still Robo. That's going to get him mad. I love it. I hate it. That's my friend Trevor, and he hates when this happens. Okay, we hate Odubel Herrera. Matt Olson, pretty eyes. He's my number 1 player in the league. I'd let date my daughter. And good for Patrick Wisdom.
Yeah.
A lot of those names I think baseball guys and gals know. Patrick Wisdom, good for you, big dog.
And Juan Soto. The game's better when Juan Soto is swinging a hot bat. So it was good to see him have 2 home runs.
Yeah, what are his numbers at? A casual. He's down to 281, 411, 843 OPS. Okay, so down
And he
for
only
Juan
had
Soto.
like 4 home runs going into the Braves series. So we were not seeing our typical Juan Soto.
Bald John Boy pick comes out. Always a good time. Trev, do you want to test it out again? Silent Trev.
Just don't hear you, but
Okay.
not Roboing.
Proud of you.
We don't have you. Oh, I think I just saw an hard F word. And let's bring that to awards.
Awards.
I will go first. Lead off episode. And I juggled a couple awards in here. I'm still thinking, you know what? We've had a fun day, and I'll go with the Comically Small Hands Award. Trev, Jom saw this happen live. An investor of ours, just alphaed me, one of the biggest alpha moves I've ever seen. He shook my hand, and then he said, "Jake, you have comically small hands." And I was like, wow, that's like kind of as mean as you could be instantly. And then then I went around to everyone else's hands because it was like it was a tough moment for me. They're not comically small. I mean, they're not Shaq over here. Anyways, it's one of Trev's favorite things that we didn't pick up on, and then once we did, it's hilarious. It's going to Framber Valdez. Framber uses an extremely small glove, and it's hilarious. Because pitchers, they're not, as Trevor says, they're soft. I mean, they're not athletes. The fact that pitchers don't catch pop-ups is insanity. That's one of my late night thoughts lately, is that every other position catches pop-ups hit to them except pitchers. That's nuts. Anyways, Framber is back, and he had a great start. And man, another thing that goes overlooked is how few lefties there really are in baseball. Framber Valdez, if you do best lefty pitchers in baseball, I think you'd be surprised how quickly you'd run into Framber Valdez with some of his recent Performances, how good he looked in the playoffs last year. He went 7 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 10 punchies versus the Boston Red Sox. So he's part of the reason that I was in on Houston. The other option to name this award, I was going with the Don't Listen to Doctors, because initially we heard Framber was going to be out for the year. Mm-hmm. He's already back and doing it. It's early June. And, man, that guy has a chance to be special. I think he's one of the – they said it on one of the playoff broadcasts, and I thought it was just a weird throwback thing. He gets better as the game goes on. I'll try to get to the splits now because I actually didn't plan this as part of the award. But the third time through the lineup is last year, first time through the lineup, hitters had a 761 OPS. Third time through, a 562. So if you don't get this guy early, you're done. I think Framber's a special dude. I love him. Thick King. He gets my award.
Thick King. Who's next? Trev,
I don't hear you, so I don't know if you're robotic, but I'm dreaming about hearing you. Nothing.
I hear him.
You hear him?
I hear him. Yeah.
How's he sound?
Great.
Okay.
You don't hear him right now?
No.
You just said, let me try one more thing.
Trev, you might have to leave and come back while Kels gives an award.
This is so weird.
I could lightly hear you there. I think
that was the echo from Kelsey.
Okay.
Heard. He spoke loud enough there.
Someone called him Soundless Trev. I don't like that, but I like his friend Nameless Jeff, so Soundless Trev is hilarious. Kelsey, why don't you give your award, and then we pray for Trev's return.
Okay, my award is the Comeback Stronger Than a 90s Trend Award. I'm talking scrunchies. I'm talking tie-dye. I'm talking chokers. There I am with my black eye. My Comeback Stronger Than a 90s Trend Award is going to Ke'Bryan Hayes of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Ke'Bryan Hayes was finally activated off the IL. He was put on the IL second game of the season with a wrist injury. If you're like, who? Kelsey, who is Ke'Bryan Hayes? Who are you talking about? Third baseman who debuted for the Pirates last season, and in 95 ABs, he slashed 376, 442, 682, but he's known more for his glove than he is his bat. And he had won 3 consecutive Gold Gloves in the minor leagues. He is the guy for the Pirates. He's the guy. But he was put on the 60-day IL, finally got activated off of it. In his return, 2 for 4 with a single and a triple and a run scored. He hit second, started at third. He is going to make the Pirates watchable because he is that exciting. And he was, going into the season, he was a favorite for the NL Rookie of the Year, and then he got hurt 2 games in. So he is going to be super excited to follow along with. But yeah, in the minor leagues, 3 consecutive Gold Gloves. He became the second minor leaguer in history to do that. He had a 989 fielding percentage. So he is, and he was National League Rookie of the Month in his only month up in the show last year. He homered in his first AB this season before he was hurt. So he's a stud. He's a fun one to watch. And he's back.
I like
back
that.
Like a 90s trend.
Back like a 90s trend. Back like a 90s Trev? Trev?
Check.
Let's go! Buckets.
Ke'Bryan Hayes, I'm assuming that's who we're talking about, right?
Yes.
Love him. He is a guy. Cole Tucker made sure we knew.
Yeah.
We said, Cole, who's the guy you want to tell us about on the Pirates that everyone should be talking about? First thing he said was Ke'Bryan Hayes. So we've been on him since day one. He's electric. He does everything well.
Yeah.
He's a Gold Glove third baseman. He can hit. He can run. Seems like a leader type of guy when he's on the field. Looks like he kind of takes control out there, which is, guess what? That's what the Pirates need.
Yeah.
Play Cole Tucker. at shortstop and Ke'Bryan Hayes at third base. And now we're talking left side of the infield mojo.
Baby.
Left side, what it do, baby?
With the Iceman. Oh, wow.
How about my friends are so dumb. When I moved to Dallas, one of my buddies said, dude, you better start learning Paul Wall music. And A, he's a Houston guy, and B, like, kind of already know Paul Wall.
Paul Wall.
Ke'Bryan Hayes, how's the start to your career? 27 games, 372 batting average, a 1.146 OPS. If you keep that going, hello.
Hello.
Kelsey, incredible award.
Thank you.
90s trend.
Thank
Trevor, I'm so happy you're back. I'm so happy for you to anchor this show the only way it should be anchored.
You want me to go now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. My award is another Talkin baseball award. We're talking Llamas bread. Lembas. Llamas bread. And what that is, it's a bread, an elvish bread, where they say one small bite can fill a grown man's stomach. Before Samwise and Frodo depart on their journey to Mordor, the elves grant them some elvish bread, some lambas bread, and say, take this along with you. Now, one of my favorite quotes from the movie is when Samwise is sitting there, he's his usual cheery self when they're getting lost on their way to Mordor. He goes, I don't usually go for foreign food, but this elvish stuff, it's not bad. And I think, Kelsey, you don't know what I'm talking about right here. It's one of the more heartwarming quotes in the whole movie. And what Llamas bread is to me, it's an unsung hero. It helps these two young hobbits on their way to Mordor before I think Frodo ends up throwing the last bit of it off a cliff in a really weird scene. Whatever. Thank you, Kelsey, for that. Yeah. So I'm going unsung hero. My Llamas bread award goes to Max freaking Muncy.
Wow.
Do you guys understand what's going on right now? Max Muncy is leading baseball position players in WAR with a 3-3. This is a guy that plays first base and second base. Nobody does that. Okay. He's having a great year this year, and he's got a .944 OPS. The thing I love about Max Muncy, nobody talks about him at all. And guess what? Max Muncy doesn't care about that. He essentially led them to a World Series title last year. He's been nothing but amazing in the postseason for the Dodgers, and he just continues to do it in a way that doesn't get talked about enough. He is my Llamas bread of the big league. So shout out Max Muncy.
Llamas bread. Llamas bread. Llama.
Max Muncy is Llamas bread. One small bite can fill a grown man's stomach. And can imagine what it would do for a hobbit. A small bite in a hobbit's stomach can fill it the entire day.
Can't even imagine that, honestly.
I'm trying to. I think I got it.
Okay.
I think I got
Max
it.
Max Muncy, Llamas bread. Just remember that.
Okay.
Trev, Max Muncy is underrated. He's if you take away Frederick, I mean, there's an argument that he's been the best first baseman in the game, but Freddie's been there. But Muncy, yeah, I mean, they slide him all over. All he does is
in second base. Think about that.
All he has done for the past 4 years now, since he's been in Dodger Blue, he homers at a 40 homer a season game clip. I mean, he's underrated. Thick.
He's finally getting broke off a little bit of change. He's getting paid this year, making $9 million, 13 the following 2 years. But before that, the guy was playing for peanuts, essentially. Obviously on scale with Major League pay and what he's been doing. Sure. He got cast away by the A's. I tell the story quite frequently. I was with Stephen Vogt and him when, he was down in the dumps. The A's had just gotten rid of him. I think this was the spring training. He signed with the Dodgers on a minor league deal. And then it's been gangbusters since then. So I'm a big Max Muncy fan.
Kel?
Yeah.
That's my award.
I love this. What?
Any other Lord of the Rings thoughts or Max Muncy, I guess?
Yeah, no, I mean, definitely the Hobbit won.
Yeah.
And he had the bite of food, and it was wild. And then the green tongue worm, insane stuff. on Lord of the Rings. Insane stuff for Max Muncy. I mean, like you said, a guy who can play first and second, those are like two completely different profiles of players that we're working with there. But I love those guys who just get it done and they don't get the credit. And I love guys like you, Trev, who are just out here to give the credit where it belongs. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean?
I feel you. And he's unlike Slim Daddy Vladdy, he's a thick boy. When he runs the bases, like he's got some junk in the trunk and he can actually run a little bit.
The scene where Frodo is with R2-D2 and then Jon Snow comes in and just saves the day. I mean, that's cinematic history.
Yeah.
Cinematic history.
I'm going to point this out again because I really want to know, and I want people maybe to I'm sorry it was Gollum that threw the longest bread off the cliff. I got corrected in the chat. It's been a while since I've actually watched the movies. Where was I going with this?
Hobbits.
Nobody knows.
They're
good movies. I think that was going to be your final statement. They're the best movies.
First base and second base.
That's wild. You have two completely different body types, two completely different types of athleticism, and the fact that he can play both of those well. How many starts?
Who else can do that? LeMahieu's done it, I'm sure, right?
DJ does that. He's
not human though.
Tall for a second baseman. That might be a good stats that exist that don't matter one day.
There you go.
We are up against it, guys. That's about it. Claps for Kelsey Winger. Comes up to the show and does it like that. Go follow her everywhere, and if you haven't been watching Farm to Fame, go check that out at Kels Winger on the Twitter sphere. Her and Moylan kill it with Farm to Fame, and you're a delightful person. So that's
y'all are delightful.
That's what we like at John Boy Media. Trevor Plouffe, the Night King himself, myself, John. We miss you, buddy. Have fun at the wedding. He'll be back Monday. Thanks to the chat. We love you guys. Oh, best friend of the show. Sorry, BBD. Say it.
It's Austin Meadows and Ryan Yarbrough. They're both on the same team, so I can split it.
Jake sucks.
Meadows bunch of homers. Yarbrough complete game fun.
Elevator talk, whatever.
Yeah, no elevator talk today.
Go Tigers.
Rays are good.
LSU is the elevator talk.
Hey, we're starting the regionals today. LSU.
Oh yeah. College baseball, college softball, elevator talk. Go Tigers.